Hey guys, what's going on? James Nation here with Grand Touring Nation, and today I'm reviewing the 2016 Mazda 6 Touring trim package. Now, if you're not familiar with a Mazda 6, it's a mid-size sedan, and the great thing about it is it has an engine that is all horsepower, all torque, high revving. Okay, well no, it's actually not any of those things, but it is a great car. Stick around and I'll tell you what it is. Alright, so I had big plans to review this car when I bought it back in December of 2015. Unfortunately, that never happened. This is now almost 2 years later, and I've put 22,121 miles on the car. But really, at the end of the day, I think you'll get more from a long-term review like this than you would a short-term kind of look back on the car. So with that in mind, I want to talk about a few things that the Mazda 6 is, because I've already talked about what it isn't. First, it's a car for people that love driving. You know, Mazda is known for, or used to be known for, their Zoom Zoom marketing slogan, and now they are driving matters. That's their thing, and their goal really is to create cars for people that love driving, that are fun to drive. This is a car that costs, you know, starting price around $22,000, and four-cylinder engine has 184 horsepower, 185 foot-pound of torque. So no, it's not a tire-screaming, high-revving beast of a machine, but that doesn't mean it's not fun to drive. So the second thing that the car is it's a great option for families. You know, there's plenty of room in the car. The trunk has just shy of about 15 cubic feet. You know, my wife and my daughter and I have taken plenty of trips in the car, and really space has never been an issue. Rear seat room is great. You know, you could easily fit 4 adults in there comfortably. There's plenty of room for my daughter and our dog in the back, so no issues there. So the third thing that this car is really it's your best friend. It is dependable, it's reliable. You know what you're getting every time you get in the car. Like I said, I've had it for 22,000 miles. I've never had any issues. It has been rock solid from day one, and you know, that's really what you look for in a car in this class. All right, so now if we go back to kind of the performance aspect of the car, like I said, it's got the 4-cylinder engine, the Sky Active technology, and Mazda really does a lot with their engines these days. They're, for as small as they are, they're really pushing the envelope. And you know, the engine's great, it's efficient. EPA rated efficiency is, I think, 26 city, 38 highway, and I get about 29 in a mixed city highway driving. I did manage to squeeze out 36.7 one time. That was my all-time best. That was pure highway driving, filling up before you get on, filling up when you get off, one person in the car. So, you know, I'm not really sure how you get the 38. I suppose if you had a good tailwind, maybe you could get there, but that's okay. You know, 36.7, that's pretty respectable in a car that's this much fun to drive. 0 to 60 time is about 7 seconds. So we've found a little quiet country road here, so I'm going to do a quick test. We've got it in sport mode, just for the fun of it, and let's stomp it and see what happens. That's 30. That's 40, that's 50, and that's 60. So again, you know, it's got a little tire squeal. It kind of caught me off guard, but it's not bad for what you're paying for. You're getting a lot for your money. One thing that I do love about the car is the sport setting on the center console. Now, it's not what you get in, say, a BMW. You're not going to have suspension that suddenly gets stiff, and you know, remapping of the throttle and your exhaust opens up. It's not that much, or not that involved, but what it does is it will hold the revs for that much longer, so that you're always kind of in that power band. So if you, as soon as you flip that on, and you'll see I've let off the gas and it's still holding at about 4,000 RPM, and then it downshifts. So, it does make it more fun to drive. Is it useful in stop and go traffic? No, certainly not. But, if you're on some backcountry road and you're wanting to carve the canyon, so to speak, then it will make a difference. Handling is really where Mazda wins, hands down. Far better than anyone in their class, in their segment. And that really just goes back to, I think, everything that Mazda believes in. We talked about the Driving Matters slogan, and they also have a philosophy, and I may butcher this, but Jinbei Atai, which means oneness with horse and rider. Really, it just speaks to the fact that when you're driving this car, you feel in control, and that is what you get. You always feel like you're in control of the car, and it's kind of a blast to drive. But now I want to talk about styling, and I think, again, that's another area where Mazda outshines their competition. The new 2018 Honda Accord, that's a pretty sleek looking four-door sedan, but with the exception of that, in my opinion, you'd be hard-pressed to find a car that looks better than the Mazda 6. And it all really goes back to Mazda's Kodo design language. Exterior, the only gripe I would have about the exterior is I think the rear is a little high, and from certain angles it doesn't look perfect. But generally speaking, it's a very good looking car, and I think it's a design that will hold up and stand the test of time. From an interior perspective, again, I think Mazda has done very well for themselves. With the 2014 Mazda 6, which was the first year of this generation, they've made a few incremental differences or changes over time, and where they landed here in 2016 is certainly their best take on interior design. It has a very clean, minimalist look, but again, with the whole Driving Matters, driver-centric philosophy, everything is easy to get to, easily accessible, easy to read. Infotainment center, it's good, it's not great. It has the kind of like iDrive BMW style controls here, and really the last thing I want to hit on is reliability. And again, this car shines like most Japanese manufacturers. This car is rock solid. In 21,000 miles or 22,000 miles, I've had 4 oil changes, a couple of tire rotations, and that's it. I've never had any issues with the car. It's never given me any reason to believe that it would give me issue. Every time you get in the car, you know exactly what to expect, and it's the kind of car you can get in, take a long road trip, and you don't have to worry. You don't have to wonder if your car is going to break down or if it's going to overheat. You know what you're getting, and I think that's really what buyers look for in this segment. I do have some dislikes. No car is perfect. One thing for me is the seat comfort. It's good, but not great. One thing I think it could really benefit from is some additional thigh support. You spend 4 hours in the car, you get out. It's okay. You're not. You don't feel like you've been beaten up by any means, but at the same time, it's not overly cushy. It's not Volvo-like, but that's okay. This is a $20-something thousand car, and that's an acceptable level of comfort. So another complaint that I have with the car is with the infotainment center, specifically the fact that the 7-inch touchscreen. It's not always touchscreen. Once you are going over 5 miles an hour, that touchscreen capability or feature drops off. Now, I don't know for sure if that's common among manufacturers, but I have to believe that it's probably not. And to me, I don't think it's any more distracting for me to reach up and touch the screen versus controls through the dial. So I'm not really sure why Mazda chose to go that route. I do wish it was something that they would change down the road, and maybe they will. But again, that's a pretty small complaint, and an otherwise pretty rock-solid car. One really surprising thing about Mazda to me is just how small the company is through October of this year, they have sold across their entire lineup 241,000 vehicles. And if you compare that to, say, a company like Hyundai, who sold about 550,000, it's really surprising to me. I'm not sure why their market share is as low as it is, because you know, I would certainly take a Mazda over a Hyundai any day of the week. And even if you look at a vehicle comparison, let's say the Toyota Camry, they have sold, I think the number is like 308,000 Toyota Camrys in that same time frame. So I don't know specifically what the number is for the Mazda 6, but the fact that Toyota Camry has outsold the entire Mazda lineup just really baffles my mind. You know, Mazda owners love Mazda, and for whatever reason, they just really haven't broken the barrier, so to speak, and kind of grabbed that other market share for people that are looking at Toyotas and Hyundais, or even maybe Kias, I don't know. But hopefully that'll change. And again, the company is really pushing the envelope with regards to engine technology and styling. So what they can do with the size compared to how small they are, it's pretty amazing. So that's the 2016 Mazda 6, and I mentioned the 2017 model does have the added torque vectoring, and they did do some very small styling changes on the exterior with the 17, but really they're kind of one and the same if you ask me. For the 2018 model year, no details have come out, and there are certainly some things that I would like for Mazda to address, one of those being road noise. The Mazda philosophy seems to be make the car as light as possible, and as part of that, there's very limited sound deadening material used in this, so road noise is a little high. And I did hear that they made some improvements on the 17 year with road noise, but even with that, it's still not a quiet car. So personally, you know, I wouldn't mind an extra 40 or 50 pounds of sound deadening material thrown in there. I don't think it would make that big of a difference in the drive. Otherwise, really, the only thing I could see them doing would be an overhaul of the engine, and the ideal candidate in my mind would be the 4-cylinder turbo that they offer in the CX-9 now. It has, I believe, 250 horsepower. So yeah, that would be a pretty substantial jump and would definitely make the car more fun to drive. Question is, how much would that eat into the efficiency of the 6? So, you know, in all likelihood, it's not something they're going to do, but perhaps they can make some changes to the standard 4-cylinder that we have in the 6 today, you know, and get that horsepower up a little bit, just to, you know, make a small change. Would be nice to see. But otherwise, I've been extremely happy with the car. I have no regrets with the purchase. And whether you're looking for a car that's fun to drive, or even if you aren't necessarily someone that says, I'm a driver, I love driving cars, if you just need a family sedan that's roomy, efficient, and reliable, then the Mazda 6 is certainly a great option to look at for you. If you have any questions or comments, or there's anything additional that you would like to see in the car, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed the review. Nope. 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 No, I already did that. So let's talk about what the car is. First of all, no, that wasn't very good. Let's get a sip of water. How about that? Thank you. But no, that doesn't make sense. And this kind of, it's true Japanese try again. So if we look a little deeper, you know, do I have, sweating like a dog? gotta get away from this truck. This guy's killing me.